As we speak, there's rioting, mayhem, burning, looting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, I don't know the facts of this case, and it could be that this policeman or group of policemen did kill this African-American person. It's probable that it probably happened, but I wouldn't rush to judgment, as we shouldn't rush to judgment with my client, George Zimmerman, or any other people, such as in Ferguson, Missouri, or Baltimore, Maryland. But I'll tell you something. This type of abuse, if in fact it did happen, is terrible. And it's what we're dealing now with a deep state, both in the federal government and in state governments. And it's something that needs to be addressed and fought by we the people, not by burning and looting, because there are a lot of people out there that frankly could care less whether an African-American person was killed or not. It was just simply an excuse to rob and steal and to burn things down. And this is where we are in this country today. People are ready to explode. You can see everybody's out there and they're not practicing social distancing, hardly. But it's a tremendous example of how we stand on the cusp of a violent revolution in this country. And I'll tell you, regardless of the merits of whether or not this African-American was murdered in cold blood, you have President Barack Obama still out there whipping up racial hatred and divide. Just about a week ago, in an address to college students, he effectively referred to my client, George Zimmerman, who was acquitted on self-defense grounds, saying people are going to follow you and kill you. He's telling young African-American students that. Who else was he talking about? And this is what you get. Obama left behind a wreckage. The Democrats are upping the ante these days, particularly with comments by Joe Biden that if you vote for Trump, you're not black. I mean, this is what you go through. I have a lawsuit against Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren on behalf of Zimmerman for calling him a white supremacist on Trayvon's birthday. He's not a white supremacist. He helped black youth. He's actually a Democrat. Not that that makes any difference as to whether you're a white supremacist or not. But here's the interesting twist, and a very sad twist, is that I'm in court this morning on behalf of Cliven Bundy, who was the subject of this kind of prosecutorial abuse, this kind of government overreach, tyranny, who set him up, entrapped him at his ranch. He believed that he was not under the jurisdiction of the federal government, simply didn't pay grazing fees because he didn't have a contract with Bureau of Land Management to manage that land. And the federal government goes in, you want to call that the federal government loosely, and beats the crap out of his sister, kills his cattle, tases his sons, kicks them. We later find out through a whistleblower that there's a kill list on the heads of the Bundys, disparages their Mormon faith as subhuman, and it goes on and on and on. And even this pro-Obama judge who was appointed by Obama, Gloria Navarro, who had violated all the constitutional rights of the Bundy family and the others, Cliven and Ammon were thrown in solitary confinement. They were denied bail. There were risk assessments that said they weren't going to harm anybody right out of Bureau of Land Management. Harry Reid's henchman, Neil Cornsey, the head of it. And despite all of the antipathy of this judge towards the Bundys, being a protege of Harry Reid and Obama, she was forced to dismiss the indictment. And then comes along the Trump Justice Department with Attorney General Sessions and then Bill Barr, and allows the U.S. attorney that hid exculpatory evidence, that participated in the entrapment, that was part of this whole conspiracy to deny constitutional rights to my client, Cliven Bundy, and they take an appeal. Can you believe that? Now, if you need to really have a litmus test as to what this Trump Justice Department is about, then consider that. And of course, Cliven Bundy's white, so he doesn't get special privilege anymore. Unfortunately, in this country today, if you're a minority, you get special privilege. Things have been reversed as the way they were in the past. Nobody should have special privilege. Everybody should be treated the same. Black, white, green, yellow, blue. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm in court this morning defending the dismissal of that indictment. I'll keep you posted on what goes on. It won't be a ruling today. It'll come after that. But you can see that there's a lot of injustice in this country going both ways. And then, of course, we have the social media companies who got a hacked decision out of the D.C. Circuit, the appellate court the other day, saying it was okay for them to discriminate against conservatives. The president comes around issues an executive order. His antitrust division of the Justice Department, of which I'm an alma mater, is apparently going to bring a lawsuit. Well, Laura Loomer and I, who are the plaintiffs, class action plaintiffs, we're going to be intervening in that lawsuit and also seeking a review of what this D.C. Circuit 3-judge panel ruled. All 3 establishment judges, the Bush judges and Clinton judges, they don't frankly care the conservatives are discriminated against. They're not part of what they consider to be the affected class. And then, of course, we have the coronavirus. And I want you to join our class action lawsuit. The Justice Department isn't doing squat on that. Zip, nada, nothing. So we're bringing cases on behalf of the American people for the huge damage that the communist Chinese have done. See if you qualify as a putative class action plaintiff. Go to freedomwatchusa.org, sign up for the cause, and also our criminal case in The Hague, Holland, and contribute with tax-deductible contributions. What we do is very, very expensive, and we're still relatively small. So I want to ask God to bless you and your family, keep you safe. God bless America. God save America. And I'll be back with another podcast this Monday of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. And listen to my radio show this weekend on 50 stations throughout the United States. Also, podcast, and you can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, where you can also sign up for the class actions, and Spotify, iTunes, Roku, Amazon Fire, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you for listening to me. I'll be back next week with another special podcast. Until then, stay safe.